Hi everyone, it's Judy. Welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna try to move my cord here, get it out of my way. I should have done that before. What I forgot the other day, I'm back into the Prairie Journal, trying to even out where I'm gonna be putting other ephemera, and yeah, because it's big. It's really pretty big. But I had forgotten the other day that I had done a paper clip as well, and that was that piece of paper that I had, and it was smaller than this, but it was like folded up like this. And I thought, well, maybe I'll do something pocket, or something like this, and whatever I did. I decided I was going to do altered paper clip. Kept doing it wrong. Yeah, so I ended up having to cut it apart. This was supposed to be a belly band because I thought it was the back. It really wasn't the back because that wasn't the front. Because if that was the front, then this would, yeah, I made a mess, man. I just made a mess. So anyway, seeing this is kind of down, but that's okay. I'm gonna leave it at that. I made this pocket on here, and I did what I will usually do because I don't like snug pockets. So what I do when I glue them down is I push it in a little bit like this, and a little bit lighter as I get near the bottom to give it a little room. I don't know if you can see, if I press on it, there's a little give to that. So it gives it a little bit of room. So if your tag gets a little too fat, like too thick, or you want to put a couple of things in there, it gives it room without it having to struggle to get it in and out, because I don't happen to like that. And then on the back, of course, is a paper clip. Well, it's a paper clip on the other side too, but you know what I mean. So anyway, I finally got it right. I decided I was going to put it on this page here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to put it back on the page. This is a page that's kind of a pretty page, and don't want to really cover it, but I like the way it looked with this in the background and stuff like that, and I wanted a little more color here because it was pretty plain. So what I decided I was going to do is I'm going to make a tag for in here, and then on the back of the page there's going to be another tag, but that tag is going to have a pocket, and in that pocket will be a little booklet. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I hope everybody is doing well. It was another beautiful day today. Absolutely wonderful. That big heat wave is gone. I've got stuff over here I still haven't cleaned. I said I was gonna, I know, and I didn't. But anyway, so here's the little booklet. And this is going to be the card that we put in it. And I didn't get this cut down. I cut this off the top of another journal card piece that I had. It was a picture below it of a barn and some pigs. Cute, but I figured, if I probably wouldn't use it for a tag, maybe a pocket somewhere or something, but I cut this off because I wanted that same feel. I did pre-ink some of these things, and the other thing I did here, I think you can still see it because you could see my mess over here. I just took a piece of cream colored copy paper, just regular weight, and did a few little sayings. This is the same thing, just a smaller size, and I decided I really like the smaller size better, so we're going to go with that. And yeah, so these would be the sayings that I'm going to be putting on the tags in the booklet and things like that. So why don't we get started first on the booklet, because that's going to take a few extra minutes. I already cut and inked. I didn't ink the pages though. I should probably try to do that. Let's see if I can. I got my little, this is going to be fun, trying to do this little booklet on this. Try doing it this way. I kind of cut it with the rulery, raggedy edge. It actually didn't come out as raggedy as I would have liked. But I don't know if that really did anything for me. I'm going to take this away back here, guys, because that way I can just, yeah, it's really not doing it. All right, let's try doing it this way. They're sort of fanned out this way. Maybe that'll work better. I'm just trying not to ink, you know, one page at a time. So let me work on this then. Let's see if I can get these inked a little bit. Still a little piece here. I think I'm partly on screen for you. All right, and then let's go this way. I'm trying to fan it so that I can get the edges of the papers somewhat. They don't have to be perfect, but got to do it from the other side as well. So that's going to be a little harder because I've got to fold in these papers now, but I'll give it a shot. Yeah, it doesn't want to fan. I think I've got 6. I was going to just hook this underneath the paper clip, and then I thought, you know, I think it's going to be too thick. So I decided to make a tag with a pocket, so the top of the tag would fit in better. And then I could just put the little notepad in the, or little, I don't know. Well, I guess it's a notepad. I like to call them like a mini journal, little tiny journal. Anyway, this is kind of a lot, so let me narrow these down a little bit. They don't have to be perfect, but they're harder when you've, whoops, I got a little hidden guy there. All right, that should be good enough. And this should give us enough rough edge to these. I think I have to do them this way too. Oh, I do. And could you imagine how much longer this would have taken if I had done this one page at a time for this little thing? All right, and this side. Okay. Oops, a little bit more. I got another one here that's not coming apart. Okay, there we go. Gonna be a little rough, but all right, I think that'll do. Now I've got all these little bits all over everything. So what's gonna be the fun part here, and we're gonna do this first, is I am going to bind this, and I'm gonna do a 3-hole punch, a 3-hole punch, oh my goodness, a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Holy moly. Now this is like a barrel full of monkeys, these paper clips, honestly. I don't know how they get this way. They take forever to get apart, but they just seem to come together that way all the time. So I really don't want this to shift because I should get one more. I don't have a lot of leeway here, so in this little guy. So I have this, let me put this over here, put this over here. We'll cut them out in a minute. I have this little wooden thing, and I came in a little while ago and I just put a mark at where the center ought to be. So this is the center, but normally, you know, you're gonna butt it up against the end, and I'm not doing that. I'm gonna try to do it this way. So what I need to do, I'm gonna turn it so the little mark is towards me. I'm gonna put my, this is not gonna sit right. Let me pull these out further because it interferes with the block of wood. So it really is quite easy when you're doing a regular journal. So I really can't see the mark very well, but it's right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of shimmy it over by eye until it looks like it's, here's my mark and there's the center. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna bring it in pretty far. So I should have one here. It's not quite right. So I'm gonna go by the holes. Okay, I'm looking here on this hole, here on this hole. And now I'm gonna assume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that one. Okay. So I'm assuming that that is now the middle for me. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to punch the one in the center. And I think I'm trying to decide. I think I want it up a little higher. We're going to go here. So that's skip one and go in here. All right. I think my husband's looking for me. I'm filming. What's up, honey? What?
Did you like that pork?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
It was a little spicy. I had to wrap it in my potatoes, but
It was a little spicy, but it wasn't bad.
no, it wasn't too bad.
I'll look for other ones if I find it marinated.
Well, okay. All right. So there we go. We have our 3 holes right there. Now, the other thing I did was I looked through, if I can find what I've done with them now. Where did I put them? I looked through my threads. Oh, my goodness. Oh, they're on the other side. And I had these 2 colors. This one's kind of a brown, and this one's a little bit more red. I don't know if you can see the difference in the colors. And I'm going to opt for this one because I think it matches the red a little bit more in, I'll just put that up later because I'll bang into everything if I try to get it out now or put it away now. So I'm just going to try to find the end here. Do you think I could find the end? There it is. Okay. And we're going to do the standard three lengths. And I generally go just a smidge over fingers wise. Do that. Okay. And we'll put this away. So my husband was commenting just now. I had made this. You can get them, I guess, in most. I was going to say restaurants. In most. Where are my needles? Here they are. In most supermarkets, I would think, these pre-marinated pieces of pork. Usually it's pork. And we had gotten one. It's just a little thing. And I thought it would really kind of shrink a lot, but honestly it didn't. And it was a chipotle one. And I'm not a spice person, but my husband kind of likes a little bite in things. So I was like, all right, well, we'll give it a try. And so I made it tonight with some sweet potatoes and some steamed vegetables. And he was very, very happy. So very happy. I'm going to stick this under here just to help it kind of stay out of the way. And you know the drill with this standard 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So we go here and then here. I don't think you've ever seen me do this on camera because I usually do these kinds of things off the camera. Now, what I have found for me is I pull this out of the way. If it's here on the outside, this thread, I pull it in that same direction. Because for me, that opens up the hole better and I'm less likely to split the threads. Because when you split the thread, like I just did, when you split the thread, well, stop twisting on me. It won't let you pull it tight. So I just did that and I don't know if you can see that. And then I'll bring it up opposite that thread. That seems to work better for me. So yeah. Now, I really meant to do it on the outside, but I'm going to leave it on the inside. Yeah, so I'm going to pull that tight. And then usually what I do is go once, twice like that, and then pull that. And that's nice and tight. So let's go ahead and trim these down. I was going to do it from the outside, and I didn't think, and put the bow out here is what I was going to do, but I didn't. I forgot. Not that it's wrong, it's just not what I intended. So let's put those away. Okay. And I gotta make myself a little needle case, I think, because this package just is not holding up anymore. I'm going to put that back in here. And I will put this stuff away later because, like I said, I keep it up there. And I have the light and phone holder that holds this. There's another light over here. There's wires hanging down. So yeah, everything's in the way. So I'm just going to leave it down here for now. Okay, so the next thing I want, and I'm leaving these plain. I'm not doing anything with these. Now, it doesn't matter really which way this goes. It actually works out well because I like this and it would rather not cover that up. This is a little more open. So I'm going to put the picture that I intended on here, which is this one. And I think what I want to do first is I want to get these, and I'm thinking these are the two that I want on there. So let me try. I'm going to put these up here. Let me try to hopefully tear this evenly. Could be easier said than done. As a matter of fact, let me just tear right down here for right now because I don't need that. It's just in the way. And I'm going to just do this by eye. Yeah. If I have to, I will go back and, you know, cut it down more. It just depends on how much of the picture it's going to cover. And that's what I'm trying to, you know, be careful not to cover too much. Okay. So these were just things I made up, not like Good Morning Sunshine. I'm sure that's not original to me, but these two little sayings that I have going on the other ones, I just made them up for this. So I will show you that in a minute if you haven't read them yet while I've been flipping them around. Okay, so that's one right there. Put that one up there, and let's go with this one. Okay. Just looking at the other one to see if I leave about the same amount of space, and this could be a little trickier because I don't have a tall letter at the end. Oh, that wasn't too bad. That looks pretty straight. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, that looks pretty good, but I don't think it's straight. Okay, let's hope that's all right. Let's hope that's all right. Okay, so yeah, this is, like I said, this is just some cream colored copy paper is all this is. It's even a different color than, oh no, it's the same color. I thought it might have been a different, I have a couple of shades that I had gotten a few packs a couple of different times in thrift stores, so they ended up being, you know, different colors. So different shades of cream, I guess, depending on what company made them, and the packaging is long gone. I have no idea, you know, whose they were. I'm not even sure. Well, I must have done it at some point, but, you know, known it at some point, but I do not remember anymore. So I'm just going to put this on here. I think I'm going to put this one here, and I'm going to put this one up here, and they could have actually been smaller, but you know what? It's okay. I don't mind it. And what it says is, the Lord brings the morning, the rooster brings the call. So that's what I'm putting on here. Let me put this flat. I think it'd be easier to work on this. And then when this is done, I have a couple little pockets and tags I want to do inside, and I'm not going to back the pictures, the front for the tags, you know, the decorative paper for the tags, I did on 32-pound paper. And I had mentioned in another video, the one I get through a company, American company called Staples. And it's a 32-pound, but it's a matte finish. It's not that glossy one, but frankly, it's starting to get pretty expensive. So I think what I may end up doing is, I like it. I particularly like the weight of it once it's been printed on and coffee dyed or tea dyed. But the price is kind of going up. The one that I believe, or that is similar at least, that most other journalers are using, a 32-pound paper, but this is a very soft kind of, not really glossy, but very smooth. This paper has like a little tooth to it. It's only 300 in a ream, and it's probably almost twice as expensive as what a 500 ream pack of paper would be for the other 32 pounds. So I'm thinking what I'm probably going to do, you know, you switch and you alternate a little bit, and probably not a bad thing. But I think what I'm probably going to do is, I'm wondering if I can get that in the same kind of place, is switch to my full pages, like this, you know, full-size journal pages. Switch that to it's, to me, a lighter weight. Even though it says 32 pounds, it seems lighter to me. And use that for my, no, I don't want to do that. I'll put it on upside down. Use that for my pages and anything that's going to be ephemera, or, you know, any kind of ephemera or fussy cuts or things like that. Use the other paper for that, because it's got a little more weight, a little more, yeah, I can get away with that. Put it there. I like the, you know, the little, it doesn't overlap on the whole edge of the paper. And this here, I actually took a combination of a few inks. I had antique linen down first, then I did a little very light, then I did a little scattered straw, and then I did really lightly fossilized amber to kind of give a sunlight look to that. So like it would be a, you know, dawn. I'm just trying to push some of this glue this way to the corner. It is down. It doesn't look down to me, but it is down. So that's our little outside of the booklet. Let's go ahead and open here. Let me find my other stuff. Wherever I, oh, it's over here. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here is, these are 2 pockets. This one goes to this one, and this one goes to this one. This is going to be the tag for the front pocket, and we're going to have to work on that a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. I'll glue the 2 pockets in, put the little ephemera piece on it. Where's my other glue? Here it is. Put the other ephemera piece on it, and then we're just going to back these with probably this, because I have it. I don't want it bulky, so, you know. So I just cut 2 little corners. I'll get up in here so you can see me better. I just cut 2 little corner pockets out of the, you know, scraps from the paper as I've been using it. And, oh, well, I said before, I'm glad that the front worked out, ending up being what it was, because I must have glued something on the paper here originally. And I'm going to just bring this in just the slightest hair from the end. Not right up against the end, but just in. And see back here, I actually just rubbed this with ink, and it didn't take, so there was probably glue here. You can't feel it, but there was probably glue there. So I'm glad that that ended up being the back, because that pocket is now going to cover that, and we will not see it. So anyway, so yeah, so the dinner was really quite well, you know, quite good. Like for me, a little too much spice. For him, he was happy with it. Well, I guess we'll be getting that again. It was funny because I read the instructions on it. It's just one of these, you know, heat and serve things. You got to cook it, you know, whatever. But the instructions, it was this little thing. It was 4 pieces about this thick, you know, if you cut them, you know, into slices. It wasn't very big. It was enough for the 3 of us. But the instructions said to cook it on 375 for 2 to 2.5 hours. I'm like, are you kidding me? I sliced it and it was done in 30 minutes. So yeah, I sliced it into 4 slices, put it in the pan. I poured the juice from the package in. I added a little bit of butter, and yeah, so that was that. Okay, so now all I'm going to do with this, I'm not backing these. Okay, I'm just going to kind of put it on here and let it hang over a little bit. So let's see, if I do that, I'm going to try to kind of do it this way so that I'm not doing a whole bunch. It's just a little booklet and we don't need it extra bulky, so try to put that about there. Let's see, get that straight if possible. I think that should be okay. Yep, seems all right. I'll push any glue that I can up that way in case it's okay. Now we're going to take this one, and that one's going to go here like so. So try to do the same kind of a setup here. These are from, I think it's called 11/7 Designs or something like that. It was a farm set, but they were much bigger and I just made them smaller so that I can do like clusters or tiny little embellishments or something. Yep, that's good. Not sticking. Perfect, perfect. All right, let's go ahead and get these. And we're going to glue these on here. Put this over here. So I went out today and walked a little bit up and down my driveway, and my driveway's about, I don't know, maybe about 6 car lengths deep, you know, long from the street, you know, to the back of the driveway, more or less around the corner to our back door. You got to walk there. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, yes, I did. I thought I had the other one. So I really have not been able, I really could not walk that distance. I know that sounds ridiculous, but with my legs and my back being what they've been, so bad, they are easing up now because of the medications that I'm taking, and it's making it easier for me. It took a little while, but this stuff has to build up in your system apparently. And so yeah, so I've gotten to a point where I can actually pretty much cook a quick dinner, especially if I can put something in the oven and, you know, boil some sweet potatoes on the stove. I can walk away from that and sit down for a few minutes. Yeah, so like I said, I know it doesn't sound like it should be a big deal, but for me, it has been a very big deal. And the medicines have started working and have given me some relief. And that was the reason I consented to the medication, because I was stuck in this catch-22 where I couldn't move. I need to lose weight, but the pain was so strong, you know, so great that I couldn't move. I couldn't stand at the stove, you know, to cook spaghetti at night. I couldn't, oh, yay. You know, I couldn't walk down the driveway. I could, if I made it, I would make it about 2/3 of the way down, or, you know, 3/4 of the way down, and I could feel it already starting to hurt. And even if I turned around and went back, I was leaning forward and pushing myself, you know, pushing, like putting my hands on the fronts of my thighs and, you know, trying to push my way. I'd be bent over. The driveway is relatively flat. There's a very small rise to it, but not much at all. And I was already hurt and just walking down, which is the downhill side. So I didn't tear that very well. So I'm gonna have to trim that one. That's all right. So, yeah, so now I can go down and back. I'm a little winded, but I can go down and back without having to push my way. So today I went out and I walked down to the end of the driveway, and I just stood for a few seconds, and I walked, it's about halfway back up to our front walkway. Our driveway's here, and the walkway goes this way and then comes up the stairs to our front door, which we don't use because it's a long way to walk from the driveway to the front door when you can pull up relatively close to the back door. So we come in and out the back. We just park all the way at the end of the driveway towards our backyard and just, you know, come in the house that way into our family room. But I have, you know, I came over and I sat on the stairs for a little while and was getting a little sun, which was nice. And because as you can tell by the color of my skin, I don't get out much into the sun, says the woman who sits in the basement with no window doing crafting as often as she possibly can. Yeah, so I'm not going to try to cut this little piece with this. I'm going to do that with the scissors. So anyway, so it was nice. My other scissors are upstairs because I'm fussy cutting again, and they happen to be upstairs. But for trimming little things, that's okay. What did I do with the book? Here we go. Okay, so this one's going to go in the front here. This cute little girl. Oh, gotta ink the back. Ink the backs. Not that it needs too much. And like I said, this will dry a little stiffer when the glue is actually dry, but it's fine. It would be like a lightweight cardstock when it's done. So she looks cute with the little, I think it's a dove actually that's sitting on her shoulder, but well, we're gonna call it a chicken. So it was nice. So I sat out there. We have this beautiful maple tree out in front, and I was just admiring it and went over and stood under it for a while. The leaves on it are so dense that you can hardly see any spot, like you can't see through. It makes pretty much a solid piece of, shadow on the ground. So there it is. The morning, the Lord brings the morning, the rooster brings the call. And then we have just these two little pockets. And it's done with this red, like barn red, and just these plain pages. So what it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's 24 front and back, 24 pages. So we're just gonna put that over there for right now. We're gonna work on this one because that is what is going to go under the paper clip at the back so that we have a pocket for this. So I think I do want that, but where do I want it? I want it on this side. Okay. I'm trying to think, how deep do I want it? I like the sunflower with this. So I think I don't want it quite that deep. So I am going to grab my cutter here and I will make it shorter from this end. What do I think? I think that. Just want to make sure that it's deep enough to hold this, but I want to see as much of the rooster as possible. Okay, that's that. I will glue this on and then probably trim it from the other side. So let's go ahead and ink these. I do want the black though, so I'm going to glue it even to the one side and then trim from the other is what I will do. And to do that though, I want to make sure that this pocket has enough give to hold the, I didn't need to do that because I'm going to cut that off, to hold the, I'm thinking if I want to round the corners on the pocket. So, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it around the book is what I'm going to do, and then I'll trim from the other side. So let me do that. Yeah, that's the side I want here. So we'll go with this. So I'm going to make it more pouchy than a flat pocket. And I could have done the flaps that you turn under to give the pocket more space, but I didn't think of it before I started this. So I'm going to put that there and put that there. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and help this down a little bit. Let me push up a little bit more here. So I'm sure you can see what I'm doing. Just kind of going around it, making sure it sticks down. Okay. I'm going to bring this back. I know you can't see this, but I'm just going along the edge of the paper to the height of the pocket. Giving it enough glue. All right. Go back and make sure this stays pressed down right where it was. Oh, let me get that out of there. I'm trying to get the pin in here and I'm going everywhere but the middle of the spout. All right, now the other thing, and I'm gonna have to do that with this, I want something. I want something. We're gonna go back to this green, because I'm gonna try to pick the green up in here. So let me tear this, and I think I'm going to tear this with, well, not with that. I'm going to tear it with this. Okay. Just again, trying to line it up. All right. Move this to the side. Okay. All right. Actually, you know what? I didn't even realize when I said that. It is the same green that I used on the paper clip itself. So that works. That works. Come on, get down there. A little further out. I don't have a lot of room, but I do have a little play here. A little play. All right. Okay. All right, there we go. Let's ink this. Okay. So, summer, like I said in the other videos, has begun, and I'm trying to get outside, trying to make it intentional. You know, when you do office work, and then you come home and you cook dinner, and then you're doing housework, and everything is inside. And frankly, by the end of the day, I'm pretty tired. And I mean, my hobby is not an outside hobby. I could, I suppose, do it if I had a way to hold all the papers and stuff down so the wind didn't blow it away, but okay. So I am thinking, do I just want to, I think I do, get rid of this. Though I may cut this with this too. I think that would be a good idea. Because I'm going to have to glue this now with the book in it so that it stays the way it's supposed to. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think, let me just kind of glue it down, and then I'll go back and cut it with the ruler. I think that would be a good idea. And then the only other thing I have to do is the little tag for the front pocket, the little pocket on the front. And that would complete the whole thing. So really, the paperclip was not that hard. Certainly not as hard as I made it out to be, but yeah, it was. I just want to make sure I have plenty of room for trimming this. Okay. I'll tell you, these dry baby wipes work really, really well. And again, I'm sorry if I'm shaking the table. Forget how hard I'm pressing on these things. All right. Okay, let's go. Whoops. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. We want, yeah, I got to come pretty close. So I don't need a big, big border on this. So let's go here. That one back there. Let's go here. Oh, smidge out more, I think. Come on. There we go. Stop. Okay. And then this one. About the same. Okay. And then here. I think that will be fine. I don't know if I'm going to go back and try to add anything to it. You know, a flower, maybe a butterfly or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Make sure I get all this before I glue it down. Get rid of those white edges. All right, now I need to actually put this back in here so that I can glue it where it needs to be. Well, I probably can't get away with that. I'm going to put it a little lower because I think I might want to add the lace again that I added here. I think I might want to do that there. So I'm going to glue that down, lower to the bottom. I have a little dangly on the glue here. Glue that down. Whoa, oh, upside down again. A little lower to the bottom. Give that some room. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Itchy nose. I'll just glue that down there. And that should be straight. It does look straight. Okay. And then, again, let me find that lace. Pull my box down here. This is my box of, I don't know if you can see that, but it's 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Or anything smaller. I don't know, is that the one I wanted? I don't know, this might be a different one. Where? Was that this? It's like it, but it's too fat. I have a feeling I'm in another bin. I thought it was this one, but I'm not seeing it. I'm gonna leave this down because I got to get to the other one. Let me see if it's in this one then. This is less than 1/2 inch. I don't see it in here. Don't see it in here, so it must have been in that one. Let's see if I can find it. When I do my walkthrough. Oh, is that it? Yep. Gosh, it was right on right there. Right there. This is a system that I have so that I know where to put it back, because oftentimes I'll buy more than one of the same lace because I decide I really like it a lot. Wow, I just left myself enough room, right? Okay. And then when you go looking for it, you know, you can't find it. It's like, I know I had more, and yeah. So came up with this system to help me with that. So I will show you that. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe this weekend. We've got a holiday weekend this weekend, so maybe I'll take that day, and I'm just gonna leave that here. Maybe I'll take that day and go ahead and do that. Do a little walkthrough for you. Again, it's not gonna be perfect. It's always a work in progress, it seems. Oh, you know what? It's okay. Forgot to trim the pocket. Yeah, it's hanging over here. Okay, that. And put this on here. Normally, I leave a little bit of an edge. I'm going to try to leave a very little bit of an edge. I like seeing the inking on the edge of the pocket under the lace. And I am leaving this book in while I do this so that I don't fold the paper while I'm working on it. So that is what I am doing. All right, so I'm just going to take this now, which is going to be interesting because I can't see it. I'm just trying to feel for it, and I don't know if I'm doing a good job. Can't see it because it's the same color. So I can't see the edge of the tag as opposed to the piece of paper sticking out. It may not be very straight. Okay, we're gonna go with that. All right, I'm just gonna take this, I'll put it back up on the shelf for the moment. Get that out of my way. So that's what that looks like. I just have to back it now. And that I will take this out for. Not sure how long I've been going for. Pretty long. I hope I can get this other one in without it. Whoa. You know, doing this other card. I'm not going to do it too fancy. I may actually use the green if I have ended up with enough left over. I may, whoops, I'm getting very messy here. It's because it's not laying flat. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it because eventually that is going to get covered. So I think I will go this way with this. Okay, there. All right, that should be okay. I hate when I go to press things down and I have glue all over my fingers and I stick to everything. But worse, I'm putting, see if I get my bone folder here. Worse, I'm putting, because I want to press this down, but I don't want to press on the pocket. Putting glue marks all over everything, and I don't like that. Makes everything look kind of messy, you know. Okay. So there we have that. And again, see? That was on my finger. All right. Okay, we're gonna try. I really have to clean because I can't function in here right now. Truly. I have no room. Everything is encroaching again, and I promised myself I wasn't gonna do that. So this video should be up on Thursday. So hopefully between now, today is Sunday, so I'm trying to do these ahead a little bit. So hopefully between now and then, I will get myself cleaned up, because I'm not gonna do a walkthrough and then show you this mess. I'm gonna have to try to tidy up a little bit, at least. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this tag, I'm gonna put the paper clip back on the book, on the page, and I'll put this tag in with the booklet so you can see what that looks like. Hopefully it looks okay. And that will be that. Then all I have to do is a tiny little tag for the front, which all I have is that picture and the one little set of words that just says "Good Morning Sunshine." But I think I'm just gonna put it on the green paper and back it with card, just make it as tall as I need it to be in that pocket, and then that's it. Nice and simple. So let's get this back. Again, I'm just trying to be careful because I don't wanna make anything tear. Okay, so we're gonna put this back on the page. So we're about to do this little, one page will suffice, Jude. Okay, let's get that back here. I'm gonna try to center it a little bit. Okay, maybe over a little more. I always try to be careful because I don't want to tear the pages, because I wanted to see that a little bit. Okay, now we're gonna put this card goes in here then, up and underneath there, and then this little book goes in there, and that is what we have. So cute, cute, cute. So we're gonna come back here now, and I'm just gonna keep this to the side just a little bit. Let me see if I have anything. Oh, my. Looks like I have run out of this green. Let me see if I have any more in here at all. Frankly, where I'm pulling these papers out of is this big square box, flat square box. And I'm putting things in that I have so many Pendaflex folders, and a lot of them are old. And I'm trying to find this other green. I'm not finding it, so I'm wondering if maybe I want to do this. So this is just from one of those pads. Sure, why not? We'll do this. This is from one of those pads, 12 by 12. And I went through and I took out any colors that I thought would make a would go nice for like botanical folios. Let me find it's under here, I think. What did I do with it? Here it is. And so you know what? Well, no, I'm not going to take it off because that other thing's on the back. I think you might be able to see me. So I'm going to say we want to go, I'd like to make it taller. So let's go to 4.5. Yeah, that should work. We'll do 4.5 by a little wider than that. Okay, whatever that is. So we're gonna go 4.5. So let's get my cutter. So yeah, I've been just pulling these papers out. And like I said, oh my goodness. These are all used Pendaflex folders, and some of them I know were from like the 1980s. They faded so much that, what did I say? It was 4.5 tall by however tall, I think, just a smidge. I'm gonna glue this on and then cut it out. That'll be easiest. that they've really faded to like a green, a brownish green even. They really look worn and old. And I thought, you know, to make sort of a wrap, they're soft, you know, and to kind of make a wrap type of folio with things inside that would flip back and, you know, in and out, but make the cover kind of soft and wrap. And I thought, you know, I'm just going to collect the stuff. I've got so much botanical stuff. I have so many digitals, guys. It's crazy how many digitals I have. I'm trying to find, what did I do with the paper that had Good Morning Sunshine? This frustrates me, truly, because this is my own fault making this mess. Okay, I think I'm going to do a little something with this too. I will tear this as well. I'm just going to press that, and then I'll come back and clean up anything that might ooze out. Like that. Okay. Let me just move that. I'll tell you, this glue, for a sloppy person like me, this is, you know, I just can make such a mess, especially when I get in a hurry, you know. And, yeah. Okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to do this the same way. I'm going to give it a little bit of room, but not a whole bunch. Just trying to see if I've got that more or less even. Oh, so yeah, this one said, the one on the front of the other one, on the tag back there, it says, "Come the morning sun and the break of day, the night has gone away, the fields awash in golden rays, and the light has come to stay." So that's what I wrote to put on the front of that other pocket. It would help if I didn't throw it away. All right, I'm gonna try, no, it's really easier the narrow side under. I'm gonna try to see, I've got a lot of glare on this, so I'm gonna try to see if I think I have this pretty even right there, I think. Let's hope. And, okay. So I just wanted something about the sunrises and the roosters and the prairie, you know, the fields and that kind of stuff to kind of pull this all together. Get rid of that. I'm gonna go over this. I am thinking if I just want to hit this lightly with the ink and give it a little more, just because the paper is so dark. Okay. I don't know how long. It may take, this is Sunday night, I said it may take till Thursday for this video to upload. It takes so long anymore. I don't know. Just kind of crazy. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna take a little bit of that green, just a wee bit, if I can grab it. Come on now. And I'm just gonna, let's see, what do I want to do? I think I'll leave it. I'm gonna bring it out just a little further, and I'm gonna put this on, otherwise I won't have an edge. And I think if I cut it there, I'll just do that one right there. So let me just cut that down. Hopefully this is going to fit in the pocket. If it doesn't, I'll just have to trim it from the sides, but I'm hoping. I can find my pencil mark. There it is. No wonder I couldn't find it. I wasn't anywhere near it. All right. It's resting on me, and that's the problem. Okay, let's try again. Okay, that should be all right. Just a hair more. Okay, good enough. I thought it was resting on me, but the lock was on and it wasn't locked in place. So, okay. let's go ahead and get this on, and then that will be the end of this little project. I don't know how much more. I'm just going to kind of put it smeared in the middle because I got gobs and gobs on it now. I don't know how much more ephemera I'm going to put in here. I have to really look and see what I think. I'm kind of going through and, you know, I'm finding some things going, where do I think I can put this? Or, you know, I'm not really very organized with it right now. So there it is. I'm hoping that I will be able to get enough in here so it doesn't look empty, but still not, you know, overloaded, because it is very big. Like I said, there's like 280 pages or something like that in here. That is a lot of paper, and it's weighty already. It's certainly not something easily carried in one's purse, you might say. So yeah, I just wanted to do that. And I may come back, put something, I'll probably come back and put something in between here. I don't know what. I'm going to just cut it down for now, because I'm pretty darn close to an hour, and I don't really want to take too much more time. I might put a little cheesecloth or something, I don't know. But for right now, I'm just going to do this. If I put it in the pockets, you won't see the words anyway right now. So let me just put that on there. And I'll just have to decide what I think. So this is basically how it's going to look. Get rid of those things. Yeah, see, I think I may have to trim it a little bit, because I know I don't have a card on it, but it's still stiff trying to get it in the pocket. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do that right now. Right now. And I know that puts the green right to the edge. I may trim that down as well. We'll see. Oh, went off a little there. So, but when I put card on the back of this, it's going to make it that much thicker, which means it's going to make it that much really harder to get in the pocket. Even though it'll be stiffer, it'll be harder to get in the pocket. So yeah, that goes down a little easier. Gotta wiggle it some, but not bad, not bad. So that's it, guys. I will finish this off with something on there, but there is the front of the paper clip. There is the back of the paper clip with our little booklet, and really, really cute. Really, really cute. So that's it for now. I'm not gonna hold you up anymore. So be kind to everybody, everyone. Have a safe next of the rest of this week. I will see you before the holiday again. And so in the meantime, be safe, be happy, and be blessed. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.